Armed with baby wipes, nappies and some afternoon snacks, 27-year-old Adam is not really your typical nanny, but as an actor musician looking after a 7-year-old boy and his 3-month-old sister part-time fits in perfectly with his schedule.
I grew up in a very, very large family, so I was always around younger children, and basically it felt like quite a natural fit to do that for work, and it felt something that was nicer than necessarily working in bars or waiting tables, and it's much more rewarding.
He's just one of many so-called Mannies emerging in the world of casual childcare, helping to slowly break down the stereotypes in what is a female-dominated profession.
And I actually sort of refuse to call myself a Manny and just a nanny, because I just feel like I am a nanny and I don't need to kind of make it a more masculine thing, because it's just a really lovely job that I get to do.
Adam is a registered nanny with My Big Buddy, an all-male nanny agency based in London. It's grown substantially since it opened in 2006 and is now expanding into Australia.
As a company, we get many recommendations from families who have either talked to their friends and they have a buddy or a manny, or they've seen our buddies or mannies at the school gates and have thought, what's that, what's going on? So it's really grown and grown.
The company has hundreds of buddies on their database who are all run through the required background checks and receive a full induction.
I would say that we have very few mannies or buddies who have worked in a traditional childcare setting. We have had some, and some who are studying childcare, but generally, no, they don't come via that route. They've worked and gained experience working with children through other environments. We have lots of actors and musicians on our books who have done theatre workshops and schools tours when they've been working, so they've interacted with children on that level.
It's a trend that appears to be taking hold, and there are now more male students than ever before at one of the UK's biggest nanny training colleges. But there aren't as many taking on more formal roles in early childcare, and men only make up 5% of the early childcare workforce in the UK.
There needs to be that education, not just of parents and that re-education of existing childcare workers, but also of colleges and schools and careers advisors. You know, we all know that careers advisors like to push young girls into childcare. And actually, why not open that out to the boys as well? If they've got the right attributes and competencies, why not? It could be a really rewarding career for them as well.
The National Day Nurseries Association is pushing for more acceptance of men in the industry.
So as a man wanting to enter into childcare as a profession, of course you're going to ask yourselves, am I going to be accepted by parents? Am I going to be accepted by the other staff, my colleagues? You know, will I be rejected or will I be welcomed?
Do you find that parents are now more open to having a male come in and perform that childcare role?
It's taking out the stigma of what is considered male and female jobs, and I think that also sometimes families are kind of looking for other things now for nannies, rather than it just being about putting them to bed, you know, and doing the domestic stuff, but actually really engaging with the kids, and that can be male or female, but finding the right fit for your family and opening up that net a bit wider.
And speaking to some parents around the park, many are open to the idea of a male nanny.
I think I would. I've not really thought about it too much, but I think I'd want the right person for the job. It was a male or female, that'd be a great thing. But I like the idea that there's more men in the trade now. That's great.
Would you consider having a male nanny?
I would consider having a male nanny. I would definitely consider having a male nanny. I feel like it's good for the children to have a male influence at home, and I'm open to it.
So just as we hear about women fighting for positions in the boardroom, there's also a lot of men fighting to be taken seriously in childcare roles, and both are equally as important in breaking down the long-established and outdated gender barriers in the workforce. Katie Gregory for CCTV.